Many years ago, on a Thursday night in the middle of summer, while working the general chemistry area, a glucose result of 75 millimoles per liter was flagged as high by the instrument. I checked the quality control, which was good. I checked the samples just before and after this result, and all were within normal ranges. The instrument reagent levels were all well within expected parameters. I diluted the sample times 10 and ran the sample again. The sample result came back at 72 millimoles per liter. Okay, I thought, this looks like it might be either contamination or real. But which one? I looked up the history of the patient. We did not have much. This was a 5-year-old boy who only had a random urine test done 5 days earlier. The only two unusual results were glucose, +4, and ketones, +4. This did provide me sufficient evidence that I was looking at a possible, undiagnosed, type 1 diabetic who was now in ketoacidosis. This is life-threatening if left untreated. The normal course of action is to call the family doctor to let them know the critical result. This was a time long before cell phones were common and the internet was still in its infancy. Instant communication was much more difficult then. Upon calling them at 4:30, the answering service picked up. I asked to have the doctor paged ASAP and to call me immediately. The answering service indicated that the MD would not be available until 10 a.m. that morning, but they left the message. I thanked them and hung up. Now what? This little boy has had seriously elevated glucose levels for several days, and they had reached the point where immediate action was required. All laboratories have biochemists they can call in emergencies, but I was unable to get a hold of one that night. I finally decided that I did not have a choice, and I did the one thing laboratory staff never do. I called the family. I was cautious about ensuring that I followed both the expectations of the law and ensuring the safety of my patient. My very brief conversation with the mom went something like, "Hi, my name is Tina, and I am calling you from the laboratory. Did your son recently have blood tests done? Great. Some of those results should be reviewed by a doctor as soon as possible. I have already called your doctor and left a message, but it might be in your son's best interest to not wait until the morning when he will receive that message. Which hospital emergency room is closest to your home? I'm going to fax the results to them. They will be waiting for your arrival." I hung up the phone with the mom and I called the ER. I explained the situation and faxed the result I obtained, and then completed the rest of my shift. I really didn't think anything more of it until the following day, when my supervisor called and asked if I would come in early. When I arrived, there was a large box of chocolates, a bunch of flowers, and a thank you card. The little boy was barely conscious when his mom woke him. When they arrived at the hospital, the ER doctor told the family that had they waited until the morning, their son would likely not have survived. Every once in a while, something happens that reminds me just how important the laboratory is to patient care, and this story comes back to me.